Gerald.
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
I'm good. So we are back for episode 2 of our session. I think the last episode was very educative. We got some good feedback, and then there are some we would work on, and we are so glad and we are happy for all the feedbacks given.
Mhm.
So today we are going to be talking about a lot, and it will be mainly in 3 sessions or 3 parts. And I think if Gerald has something to say, he can add up to it.
Mm. Yeah, so we just grateful to everyone and whoever that is supporting in any way or form or shape, and we hoping that people continue to bring their feedback, what they want to know and what not. And please do enjoy this video, share it with your friends, family, so we get it going collectively.
Okay. So, Gerald, how is Manchester treating you?
Not bad. I can't complain much. I certainly wouldn't say it's been the best, especially under this pandemic situation. I guess it's everywhere, but really Manchester so far so good. We trying to cope with the situation. Yeah.
Okay. So, I think we'll just get on with it and we'll just start it
Mm.
immediately. So, I would want to know, or we would want to know,
Yeah.
in as a part of your life on the campus of the University of Ghana, comparing that to University of Cambridge and Manchester. Do you think there are some things that has to be done or that has to change in light with disability or persons with disability in Ghana and the University of Ghana campus?
Yeah, there is certainly always some room for improvement. And it is important to also put on record that in terms of experience wise and yeah, in terms of experience wise, University of Ghana cannot be compared to say Cambridge or University of Manchester because
Yeah.
institutions have been around for some times and have learned through the process. So certainly University of Ghana, we still in the learning process. However, it's been quite slow and much things could be done better and at a much faster pace. One basic challenge that persons with disabilities faced on University of Ghana campus, I find that to be the open drains. A lot of the gutters are uncovered, and that's very hazardous because if and you notice that most of the gutters, though uncovered, have very narrow openings, right? So they are such that if you are a blind person, for instance, using a white cane, the possibility of you missing such a drain is higher. And if you miss the drain, your foot or legs will certainly not miss the drain. You're going to get into it, all right? So it's one thing that I think must be taken into consideration. Get all these drains covered to make it much more easier in terms of mobility for the person with disability. Also, one issue which is also on accessibility would have to do with the buildings. The tall buildings do not really have um, accessible ways for which wheelchair users, for instance, can get onto other floors. You know, JQB is a typical example of such. Even CC, which is even CC, yeah, CC too, does not have accessibility, um, accessibility, what do you call it, equipment for the wheelchair user. So you'd have to be carried all the way through the stairs, and that could be a bit discomforting, you know. Yeah, so those are some of the few stuff. I'm sure I've not exhausted them, but I feel like I'm a talkative right now. I don't want to be.
Of course not. We enjoy listening to you. So I am aware that you do have a group or an association on campus, and with some of the concerns you have just made mention now.
I'm sorry, in campus you talk about University of Ghana?
Yes, I'm talking about the University of Ghana.
Mm.
So with the association you have and the challenges you face, when you voice out your challenges, or have you voiced out your challenges? And if you have, has your voice been heard, or have there been any form of positive response to your complaints and your problems or the challenges you face?
Well, I would say yes or no. I'll say yes and no. Yes, because situations are certainly better off as compared to previous years. University of Ghana is the most accessible campus in Ghana in terms of disability, you know. And when you go there, especially if you've had experiences elsewhere outside the country and you go to University of Ghana and you are told that that is the most accessible, it's a shame, really. But there have been improvements in University of Ghana. For instance, we have various computer labs that are specially designed for persons with disability, and that has also provided an alternative form of learning. Visually impaired students drifting away from the tedious means of writing, which is the braille, and making more use of computers, typing, and and also, yeah, writing exams using the computers. That is definitely a positive step. And yeah, however, there are also some setbacks, like the challenges that I highlighted earlier. The Campus Association of Students with Special Needs do engage in some of these advocacy programs, or I mean, channel these concerns to the necessary authorities, mostly also through an office which has been established by the university, where that's the Office of Students with Special Needs in the University of Ghana. They are also doing very great job, but as I said, there is still room for improvement. There are certain things that we have complained since the days of whoever, I mean, maybe the first Black students on campus, but that has still not been fixed, which has to do with these open drains that I'm talking about, and also getting some signposts on campus indicating to auto users, car users, that persons with disabilities are on campus, so they should drive carefully, because some students drive, or not even students, some drivers drive very carelessly, and it's sometimes pathetic. I remember that in 2016 or 15, rather, yeah, there was this blind student in Sabaho, Ebenezer Zamati, they call him. He's at the moment in Oxford. He was a deputy general. He was a deputy speaker of the University of Ghana General Assembly. They usually are given allowance for their job. I remember that he said that he was not going to take his allowance for his duration, and that allowance, the school should add to that allowance and erect signposts on campus indicating that persons with disabilities are on campus, so drivers should take that caution when driving. If it is today that it will be done, I don't know. And the money also, his allowance also didn't go to him again. We don't know what happened to that, you know. So there have been certain things that deaf ear had been turned to, and we hope that those things are rectified moving forward.
Yes, and it is my hope as well that those things are rectified so that everybody gets to enjoy and have access to whatever facility for their education.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are going to, I think last episode, we talked about stereotypes and certain beliefs and myths people have surrounding disability, especially visual impairment. Do you get the reaction sometimes when you tell people that you are doing your PhD? Do you get a certain reaction from people that comes as a surprise?
Well, certainly not where I am, because where I am, the I guess people have seen other persons with disability that have attained much greater fate than I have, because
Yeah,
it's
but I'm sorry
much
to
more.
interrupt. Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I'm talking based on from like Ghanaians or like
Yeah,
people in the Ghanaian society.
yeah. Sometimes, for my friends, for people who are my friends, they're not really surprised because, again, they have been educated over the time. People who are not, they express a bit of shock and would want to find out how that was possible. And I find it very, uh, yeah, I find it, I deem it as a privilege really to be talking about it when people are trying to probe into it and how it's done, because I feel it is also a way of educating the populace. But yeah, people get shocked at times, and they asked me how I did it, how I write, how I do this, and how I do that, and I don't mind explaining to them at all. There are certain people that I know. Certainly, it's because they don't know, they are not aware of it, and coming from a society where, I mean, there are a lot of cultural beliefs where, I mean, if you become a disabled person, instead of them looking at the medical courses and finding you a better thing to do based on your disability and accommodating and giving you accessibility, they rather deem they rather deem disability as a punishment from whatever goals or whatever. So you are right, you are left on your own, that you are atoning for the sins of others. For which reason, a lot of people have had certain perceptions about persons with disability. But yeah, so when they find out some of these things, we try to disabuse their minds from such erroneous impressions.
Yeah. So I would like to clarify to our viewers that persons with disability can, do everything that we can do, except in maybe whatever that is the cause of their disability. Or, for instance, we obviously know that most or almost every person with disability can see, and mobility and all of that. In that terms, especially for physically challenged and all of that, it's not maybe the way an able person would do it, but then they are able to do everything in terms of academics, sports, all of those things. They are able to do it. So don't have the mindset that persons, like, once you have any form of disability, you can't achieve anything. It is a very wrong perception, and we want to demystify that. We want to clarify that to people and our viewers.
Yeah, that sounds like a warning.
Oh, no, no, no. It's not a warning. It's just a way to educate them about that.
Mhm.
So we talked about University of Ghana and stereotypes. So the third part, I would also like to know, what do you think the role of the media should be? Or do you think the media has a role to play in education and all of that concerning disability? And also the portrayal of persons with disability.
Yeah, I mean, all things being equal, we shouldn't even be talking about media now. If everyone, I mean, if every stakeholder, and here I talk about from governments to whoever, tries and play their role. We shouldn't be talking about the media to do certain things. Everybody would feel at ease. But here we are, and we face in reality persons with disability are undergoing certain challenges, and it looks like persons with disabilities are usually considered as afterthoughts in terms of any policy that is being enrolled. Policies are being enrolled, and we now remember that, oh, we have a certain person who can see, a certain person who can walk. How do we incorporate such people? For that reason, it is important for maybe the media to cover more of disability related stories, and of course educate not only the people but put pressure on the government to implement. Of course, I mean, there are laws governing some of these things. The Disability Act is there, of which processes are underway to get that updated, but even the one that is not being updated has not been enforced properly. I'm not sure there will even be 50% of enforcement of that law. So yeah, the media can take up some of these things, put pressure on the necessary agencies and departments to ensure that these things are properly done, these things are properly enforced, and make people understand that disability is actually not by choice. I mean, people don't choose to be disabled. And for purpose, anyone at all can be disabled at any point in time. Recently, I heard a horrifying news that the start of the year has seen about over 700 people die as a result of road accidents. A lot of them have been disabled as a result, all right? So you may never know when that would happen. So it's just for that empathy that people should act, and behave. So you don't see putting accessibility issues in place as a way of making a person with disability a favor, but you see that as giving equal opportunities to all and sundry to operate without any hindrance, because you can also be one at any point in time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Gerald said, we do not know what tomorrow holds. Anything at all could happen to anyone. And I think it's best to keep a positive mindset and an open mind about issues with disability. It is our collective responsibility to also ensure that every citizen in the country is comfortable and they have access to basic amenities or basic things. And so I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot from this interaction, but because of time, we would have to carry the rest of the conversation to the next episode, which will be episode 3. And I'm looking forward to it because it will be just as educative and interactive, informative as today has been. Thank you very much.
And people, sorry, I'm sorry for that, but as we said in the opening stages of the video, people should also send out their feedback, what they want to know, what they know, anything and everything. I mean, people shouldn't be held back by whatever reason. People should be very open and contact Wendy to get their feedbacks and suggestions communicated,
Yes, we love your openness. We want your feedback so that we could improve and make much better videos, because after all, we want to know more and we want to learn more.
That's right.
So I think that will be it for today. Thank you very much, Gerald, for giving us your time.
Okay.
It is very much appreciated. Yeah. And I would say to my viewers to share, like, and comment. I have uploaded the first episode on YouTube, and it's on my Facebook page, Wendy Shika. So please, if you've come across the second episode, kindly watch the first episode on YouTube. Wendy Shika is the name. I would upload the link as well. And yes, thank you very much for your support.
And, people should also check out for the YouTube channel, subscribe so that they don't miss any sort of uploads, and like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, Gerald. Bye.
Bye.